This video tutorial I will explain how to update an employee using layered architecture and JDBC template. Here you can see three different layers: controller layer, service layer, and repository layer. Here you can see Postman client, which sends update employee request to controller layer. Then request goes to service layer. Then request goes to repository layer, and repository layer update employee record in the employee table, and finally the update employee response goes to the client. For controller layer, we will define employee service controller class and annotate with REST controller. For service layer, we will define employee service symbol class and annotate with service. For repository layer, we will define employee repository class and annotate with repository. Here you can see employee table, and it has one record. We will see how to update the information based on the ID. Here you can see Spring Boot application with folder structure, and here you can see pom.xml. I have included the dependencies of web, JDBC, MySQL connector. Here you can see application.properties file. Here I have defined driver class name, URL of the database, and username and password of the database. Using this information, the Spring Boot application makes connection to the MySQL database. Here I have defined the class employee. It has four properties: ID, name, age, and salary, and getter and setter methods for these four properties. And here I have overridden toString method. Here I have defined the class employee repository, and it is a repository class. And here I have defined the JDBC template object, and I have put auto-wide annotation. So when Spring Boot application starts, it creates a JDBC template object and inject here, and it has update employee method which accept ID and employee, and here I have defined the SQL to update the employee record based on the ID, and using update method of JDBC template object, I am updating the employee record. Here I have defined the interface employee service, and it has update employee method which accept ID and employee object, and this method is abstract method. Here I have defined the class employee service simple which implements employee service interface and provide implementation of update employee method. From this method, we are calling update employee method of employee repository object, and this class is the service class. Here I have defined the class employee service controller, which is REST controller, and it has update employee method which accept ID and employee object, and employee object is the request body, and to call this method we have to send request to this path, and method should be put, and this is the path variable. Whatever value is there, that value will be assigned to this property. And here I am calling update employee method of employee service object and passing the ID and employee object. Once employee record is successfully updated, we are sending response back to the client. The response is employee is updated successfully. Here I have defined the class application, which is Spring Boot application, I am starting the Spring Boot application in debug mode. Spring Boot application is started in 8080 port. Using Postman client, I am going to send update employee request, and here is the URL, and I am going to update the employee record which has primary key 4, and method is put. Body we have to select raw type, and I am going to send JSON, so select JSON, and request body I have put here, and request body is the employee object in JSON format. Name is Dave, age is 25, and salary is 10,000. I am sending the request. Request reaches to the controller. Then request goes to the service layer. Then request goes to the repository layer and update the employee record. And finally, the response goes to the client. Here you can see the response. Employee is updated successfully. Currently, the name is Peter, age is 45, and salary is 90,000. I am refreshing. The record is updated with name is Dave, age is 25, and salary is 10,000. You can get Java source code link for each video in the description section of the video. Here you can see the description section. Click on show more, and here you can see the Java source code links. Click on these links to get the Java source code.